Greetings. Welcome to, I think we're at episode 9 of 3-Minute Thoughts. I'm Susan Berg of the Highline practice, and this is the second in a 4-part series on conflict engagement. So much to do, right, around conflict and making it work for us. So in this segment, I'd like to look at seeing your part. And I want to focus on a client group that I've been working with lately, and me running into some confusion and disorientation and frustration and sort of starting to get critical and wondering what this was all about. And as I was noticing this, and we decided to have a meeting to talk it through, I had to stop and ask, what was my part in this? That is the hardest thing to do because, man, it is just so easy to go to blame, right? We just want to say, ah, there's something wrong over there. I found it. I found my part. I was going too fast. Damn. This is exactly what I guide other leaders on. And here I am right in the middle of it. So I used an approach to unwinding all of this from NVC. So NVC to the rescue. What you might ask is NVC. NVC stands for nonviolent communication. It is an approach developed by Marshall Rosenberg, a psychologist. And his whole goal was, how do we make life more wonderful? How do we get more connected? How do we use our innate ability and really develop the skills to connect, communicate, relate? So one of my favorite quotes from Rosenberg is, he used to say, every criticism, judgment, diagnosis, and expression of anger is the tragic expression of an unmet need. So let's unpack that. Every time I get angry or snarky, or even on the whole spectrum of violence, typically there's something that I want that I'm not getting. And so I express it in a way that is not very healthy. My great example is I interrupt my husband too much. So my need is to move on. Unfortunately, it expresses itself as impatience. And that gets me into trouble because I want to be calm and easeful and accepting and letting. So I have to see my part in that. So likewise, I wanted to see my part in this group that I was working with, and I saw it. I was going too fast. So the trick is to not go in and say, well, I'm doing this and you're doing that, but to sort of step back and to start with them. Start with showing empathy for the other person. So by guessing, because I don't know, but I can guess what's going on for the other person or group of people, and be vulnerable enough to ground that empathy and that connection in my own behavior, in my own curiosity. So what I thought about was going to this group of people and to say, well, look, I'm guessing that when I brought so many ideas, things got confusing and you were frustrated, puzzled, worried. And I'm also guessing that you need some clarity, some time to learn and process, and understanding for your own circumstances. Then I went around to each person in the group and asked them to respond. Like, how was that observation, that guess, showing up for them? It was like everything melted. They felt seen and understood. That's not all. I took a turn too. I told them that when I heard them talking, sometimes I felt frustrated and confused and unsettled, and I needed a sense of progress and inclusion in kind of what was going on in their heads and figuring out how to start trusting each other. It was amazing. Things were off and running. We just started talking and unburdening and letting things go. What's so hard about this, you might say? I'm going to tell you everything. But let's start here. Even if, as in my case, I felt I was right, I want to be aware of coming off as righteous, right? And I was on the brink. I was moving too fast. I had violated my own prime directive of meet them where they are. There is a sense of possibility. And that's what we're looking for in conflict engagement. So my question this time is, how can I practice stop, look, listen for unmet needs, both the other person and my own? So what I'm saying is kind of like the traffic warning we all learned as kids, stop, look, and listen so that you prevent a calamity. Same thing here in relationships. I want to really stop. I want to really look at what's going on and listen to them and to myself so that I can figure out how I might open up and guess what's going on for them to prevent a calamity in a relationship, in a work project. Remember, as Marshall Rosenberg said, every criticism, judgment, diagnosis, and expression of anger is the tragic expression of an unmet need. So let's go on a hunt. How can I stop, look, and listen for unmet needs, both the other person's and my own? I'm excited to give you an opportunity to reflect on this, and we'll come back and revisit this with more tips and concepts and ideas as we move along. See you next time.